Hi there, as we're in the middle of the World Cup, let's just get into the spirit of the thing. This is not a Vuvuzela, it is a Kuduzela based on the horn of a kudu. It's not made from a real horn, it's made of plastic, but it makes a sound which is triumphantly louder than the Vuvuzelas, which you've been hearing buzzing like bees in the background. So here goes. Well, we've had a really odd week this week looking at the One Way UK Devotionals. And I thought, well, let's start it in an odd way with that blast from a Kuduzela. But I'm going to switch over now to my laptop. That's here. And what we looked at is cats and men of God. And as I look down further on Wednesday, that was Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we were looking how our blessings spread to others. Let's think about that for a moment. Because this thing, as you know, with all the sound that's been made by Kuduzelas and Vuvuzelas in the background to the matches of the World Cup, that the sound itself spreads to others. It is not just contained within the little area where that person is. And of course, over the microphones of the radio and television, it's able to go literally worldwide. Now, our blessing is a bit like that. When God blesses us, we actually can't contain it ourselves because it's God's blessing, not ours. And as He pours His blessing upon us, it flows out from us to those around us. And we were seeing how that works. And we picked it up on Joseph's own life. Of course, that Joseph's plan to help Egypt get through 7 years of total famine, that not only benefited Egypt, but it also benefited the nations surrounding Egypt, because people were able to go to Egypt and buy food there when it wasn't available in their own land. And that is just typical of the sort of thing that God does. You know, He blesses somebody. You notice that when Joseph went to Potiphar's house, God blessed him, God gave him favour with Potiphar, and you know, he became, in effect, I suppose, the house manager, the steward of Potiphar's palace, as it would have been. But the blessing that God was bestowing upon Joseph spread out to Potiphar. Potiphar didn't have to do anything except to consider what he was going to eat that day. So we can see that the blessings of God upon us actually flow through us and surround us, and we will automatically be a blessing wherever we are. So at school, at work, at home, in our church, we will be a blessing to others because God is blessing us. I think that's cool, and actually ultimately at the end of the day is more productive than the noise produced by one of these Kuduzelas or a Vuvuzela or whatever. Let's just sort of carry on with what happened on Thursday. Oh, we were talking there, weren't we, about what oracy should govern the church. How should the church be governed? Well, why did that come in? Well, because we were talking about the patriarchal society, which in which the problem with Jacob's family is that nobody seemed to be able to do anything without the man, Jacob, saying, that's it. Therefore, it seemed to stifle initiative. But what we were saying is that really we need people who are leading who are divinely guided. And democracy is an irrelevancy in one sense in the church, because if the people who have been democratically elected onto this or that church council or that position or eldership or however your church is run, it's a fat lot of good if they're not hearing from God. It doesn't really matter how nice they are or how rich they are. Unless they're divinely guided, they're not going to be any good at all to anybody in that position, which may explain quite a lot of things that happen in some churches. But let us go on, let's not be negative. I think we ended the week on Friday with something that's so important for all of us. there's forgetting and not being burdened by memories. And when Joseph, it says of Joseph that he sort of forgot about his family. God has made me forget all my troubles and the family of my father. When he said that, what he was really saying is that he hadn't forgotten them, but they weren't a burden to him anymore. And I think this is the important thing about our memories. Memories, good or bad, should not be a burden to us, because today is the day of salvation. We live in the now. God is a God of the living, not of the dead. And if we live our lives concentrating on what's happening now and preparing for the morrow, yes, that's important, but not living in the future, not living in the past, but living in the now, then we really want to walk like Joseph walked, not burdened by our memories. But, yeah, we remember things, but not allowing them to become a burden. If you want the detail on all this sort of stuff, then I really recommend you to click on all the links and take the daily devotional in your email box Monday to Friday. It's totally free, and join with us. There's a big crowd of us. I think there are over 6,000 of us who look at these every day, which is really very exciting. So join in one of the biggest Bible study groups in the country, and just follow this through every day. It really is a blessing, more of a blessing, I have to say, than this, much as I like it. Have a great weekend and see you next week. Join with me daily with the Daily One Way UK Daily Devotionals. Goodbye.